I'm going to talk to you about intersectionality. You know what that means? You want me to explain it?
Yeah.
So intersectionality is a concept that allows us to realize that people live like multidimensional lives. So for example, if someone is a black woman and they're black and they're also a woman, it's important to look at the possibility that they may experience sexism as well as racism at the same time.
So are you saying that, like, say sexism is not experienced by, like, everyone in the same way?
Exactly.
Thinking about and being conscious of the fact that we have a bunch of different things that make up our identity. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Because I'm light-skinned, people think that I'm white, but I'm First Nations. Intersectionality also is like a big puzzle from your toes to your head, tip top of your head.
I don't know, I don't understand what this is actually meaning.
Every single part that's in you has to make you you.
Oh, no, I get it. I get it now. So people aren't just the one picture. The whole picture basically has to need your whole entire personality going together to make you.
Wow, thank you. That's really cool. High five.
Girl, you have to do this because boys have to do this. Only boys can go to this specific club. You have to have this certain amount of Pokemon cards to be in this club. And that's basically what it goes like.
Intersectionality. Have you heard this word before? Even if you have, you might not know what it means. Let's take a look at it. The first part's easy enough. Intersection, a place where things come together. Intersectionality refers to the reality that we all have multiple identities that intersect to make us who we are. It also gives us a way to talk about oppressions and privileges that overlap and reinforce each other. This term dates back to the 1980s and legal scholar Kimberly Crenshaw. She noticed that we didn't have an effective way to talk about how the experiences of black women are different from the experiences of black men and of white women. How? Black women endure both gender discrimination and racial discrimination. Over the last 30 years, scholars, educators, and activists have expanded the use of the word intersectionality to talk about identities beyond race and gender. Let's look at a few examples. Jerry has a disability, and his family lives below the poverty line. He is the oldest of 10, which requires him to do a lot of caregiving, and sometimes keeps him out of school. No one in the school counseling office has talked to Jerry or his parents about his plans for after graduation. He has applied for several jobs, but never gets called back. Fatima is Muslim and recently came to the United States from Somalia. She finds that many people at her school make assumptions about her values and abilities before they speak to her. Many of her classmates think she shouldn't be at their school at all. Greta comes from an affluent family. Both her parents and grandparents went to college, and her father owns a successful business. She doesn't think about her identity very often, but she does think of herself as someone who will go to college and get a good job once she graduates. Think about Greta's situation as opposed to Fatima's or Jerry's. Fatima and Jerry are members of marginalized groups. They don't get to choose whether or not to think about their identities. Greta, on the other hand, can ignore intersectionality if she wants to. Life isn't the same for everyone, even for people who share identity characteristics. By adopting an intersectional lens, we have a better opportunity to understand why and to change the institutions that help and harm us based on who we are.
At the beginning of the year, introducing myself to people sometimes people would take a step back and be like, wait, what are you? And I'd say, what do you mean, what am I? And they would say, like, what's your race? And I'd say, well, I'm half white. And they'd be like, yeah, okay, we can see that. You know, the red hair, the freckles. And then I'd say, I'm half black too. And they'd say, what? You're black? And I'd say, no, I'm half black and I'm half white. I'm the whole package. I'm not just one and I'm not just the other, I'm both.
I am Asian, but I play hockey.
I'm an honors student, but I still go in for help.
I am an Indian, but I don't speak Indian. I speak Punjabi.
I am Afro-Latina from Puerto Rico, but I'm not lazy nor uneducated, and my Spanish is not ghetto.
I am Mexican, and tacos are not my favorite food.
I'm a Muslim, but I'm not a terrorist. I'm a swimmer, but I don't like getting my hair wet.
I'm a mom, a leader, and a boss. But contrary to what everyone says, I cannot, in fact, do it all, because doing it all is an impossible standard to set, let alone meet.
Hello, I'm Chinese American, but I care about mental health.
I'm Mr. Mealy, and I'm Italian, but I'm not in the mafia.
I'm Mexican, but I'm not gonna steal your job. I am brown, but I do not want to become a doctor.
Blackness to me is faith. Having faith in what you don't see. Because we, as a people, often don't see validation. We don't see uplifting in the context of mainstream America or even situations like Harvard. So for me, it's having faith that, like, you know, I am significant, I am valid. I am valuable, even though everything else is telling me that I'm not.
There's always that moment when you're the only black student in your section.
When in class and you're the only black kid and the N-word comes up, or something in a book, or something where there's slavery or whatever it is.
And the issue of race comes up, or the issue of slavery, or the issue of whatever.
Everyone looks to you
as if you're about to speak for your race.
As if, like, you represent everybody in the race and suddenly your voice will, like, carry such weight.
And it's kind of frustrating because you would hope that people would understand that there are all different types of black people, and black people don't all have the same opinions about the same issues.
Or it's like, will she get angry about it? How does she react? Should we be walking on eggshells about this topic? And it's like, no, I'm just learning like everybody else.
And so I'm always tempted to hold back and not say anything because I don't want to feel like they're gonna take what I say as representative of everyone.
I'm Kayla Cirazari, and I'm white, but I'm also Puerto Rican.
I'm Liliana Duenas, and I'm Mexican, but I'm also planning on finishing high school and going to university. First generation, baby!
I am Korean, and I am an English teacher.
I'm Gabby Frank. I'm a dual sport athlete, but I also trip over air when I walk.
I'm Quentin Mills. Sometimes when I'm walking through the halls, I'm really focused and mean, but a lot of times I'm thinking about things that are just pointless and funny, so I'm really approachable.
I'm Christian, but I'm not a bigot.
I'm Asian, but I suck at math.
I'm a male, but I dislike sports and sport-related activities.
I'm autistic, but I can still communicate. It just might be different.
I'm Asian, but I'm not a bad driver.
I'm short, but I'm strong.